unhearing on the floor. A voice sing-songed something unintelligible on the night, and there was more laughter, men and women laughing, foreigners from another world enjoying the steamy Florida night. Come meet the knife, ho! Come say hello to the knife. Waiting. Time. The buzz of a fly discovering the blood on the corpses. Ho would be here soon. Ho Dao Bat, the third little man in the triumvirate, the leader. A follower tonight, in that the other two had already led the way to perdition. The other two were now on the floor waiting sightlessly and mutely for Ho to join them. Come on, Ho, come join the party. See how the other two are enjoying the food? Another little joke. You must forgive me. More flies now, buzzing in through the open window where a moment earlier there had been the rush of laughter and the babble of voices. A squadron of flies buzzing in and seeking the runway, circling the faces with their bleeding sockets, their bleeding towers. Fly 1 to tower, request permission to land. The room buzzed with flies greedily drinking, a veritable fly frenzy. Try that on your Asian tongue. Try this, Ho Dao Bat. And thrust the knife at the air. This! Again. There were sudden footsteps on the gravel path outside. Someone was approaching the front door. Detective Morris Bloom stood tall and wrinkled and grizzled in the early morning sunlight streaming into the room. No time to shave this morning, not when the 7 a.m. call from downtown had reported 3 dead men in a room that reeked of ritual murder. No time to search in his closet for a freshly dry-cleaned suit. Time only to throw on a clean shirt and the rumpled seersucker draped over the chair near the dresser. Time only to quickly knot a tie and then telephone Rawls to pass on the address of the crime scene. The 2 detectives stood side by side in the sunlight. Across the room, the medical examiner kept trying to shoo the flies away from the corpses. It was a thankless job. Rawls looked bandbox fresh, tan tropical suit, pale lemon-colored shirt, striped brown and gold tie, dark brown loafers. He resembled a stylish cop on the defunct Miami Vice, but this was Calusa on the opposite coast. Rawls was bigger and heavier than Bloom, some 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighing in at 240. He was the kind of mountainous black man people down here crossed the street to avoid. Bloom at 6'1" and 220, with a broken nose and the oversized knuckles of a street fighter, wasn't the kind of person you'd care to meet in a dark alley either. Together they made a formidable pair, except that it was almost impossible for them to play good cop, bad cop, since they both looked like bad cops. Well, perhaps there was a slight difference. In Bloom's dark and somber eyes there was always a look of ineffable sadness, an unfortunate failing for a police detective. Mighty pretty, Rawls said. He was not normally given to irony, but the bodies across the room demanded a certain dryness of humor. Either that or you went outside to throw up. The only time he had thrown up recently was on a rough cruise to romantic Bermuda, which he'd taken with a girl who worked as a legal stenographer at the courthouse. Bloom, on the other hand, had been married for a good long time now and did not take too many cruises to romantic Bermuda. The last time he'd thrown up was Saturday night, when he'd eaten a bad fish at Marina Lou's. This was now Tuesday morning, and he felt like throwing up again. The 3 men across the room had had their throats slit, and their eyes gouged out, and their penises cut off and stuffed into their mouths. Rawls had seen things like this in the jungles of Vietnam. The Kong had done things like this to the grunts in Vietnam. It was he who'd suggested that maybe these were intra-racial murders, this being an Asian community and all, and the way the bodies had been mutilated. Alex McCready, the sergeant who'd first responded to the radio call from the car patrolling Charlie sector, was of the opinion that these were drug-related murders, probably Jamaican in origin. The Jamaican posses that had filtered into some parts of Florida were particularly vicious in their killing techniques, and it was a known fact that in their homelands Asians smoked dope as a matter of course. Bloom wondered about the validity of this.